Alright guys, we're getting ready to go parking, but there's the tour bus I'm following. I mean, this is the current tour bus I'm stalking.
This is the bus that brought the thing we're going to go see.
Right here, that's John Hanks' bus. There we go. Now I can zoom in a little better. Oh, you can actually read it. Aww. That's my boys. Alright guys, so I haven't really got an intro yet because it's been pretty busy. But look where we are. Oh my god. I'm so proud of you. So proud of my boys. Oh, yay. Oh, by the way, guys, did I mention that there's also a Panthers and Eagles game? Oh. So, by the way, guys, I'm just kind of, you know. Yeah, know that guy. Know that bus. Also, by the way, Phil, yes, I'm wearing your shirt to John's event. Because, well, it's the only YouTuber shirt I've got that isn't autographed. And I'm not about to let that thing get dirty. So, yeah. Philly D, John Green. Let's get this YouTube party started, and it's not even playlist. Guys, remember this theater? Oh. Wow. Wowie. Wow. I miss this theater. Loser. Alright guys, so we are in Mom's in Line. I'm going to run into my old favorite office. Yeah, you know this place. Kidding. So for those of you who may not remember, last time I was here by the Windsor Night Theater, we were here for the Home Free concert. Oh, so many years ago. But yeah, so that's the fun of being here. The Home Free concert was here, and then, yeah, and then, there's somebody up there. Alright, so just of course a little selfie thingy. Well, take a snap over there. So I'll post those pictures here, and you guys can check that out. Here's this guy. Anybody want to read this article? You haven't read this article either. No, I read it in like a few minutes. That's about stuff. But yeah. About 5 o'clock, well, quarter after 5, so yeah. We still got a while before it's time, but I think everyone heeded my warning about coming early. Yay! Alright guys, so I did, well, technically 2 questions, but one was a 2-parter. Asked about the, will Looking for Alaska be into a movie? Will Lance will be in it. And for us low view count vloggers, what's his advice? So let's see if we actually get those answers. Alright. So to kill time, I'm reading Gabby's book while waiting for Joe's book. Because YouTubers, we gotta all stick together, right? And by the way, Gab, look this one. Oh, there he is. My boss. Hi, John. Alright, it's time. Yay. What's going on? Oh, having fun. Hey guys, deja vu. Wow.
Empty paper bags down here.
So we'll be hyperventilate?
Going back to my cousin, are we?
Yeah.
What did we do?
She was smart.
I was like, I'm going to go ahead and let that happen.
There you go. No.
Like, we're probably...
All right, public.
It's a nice and narrow seat.
Yeah.
So like sports, like what sports are you and I was just like,
Anybody get a fucking question? I'm going to dream.
Oh. All right, guys. So we got a packed house. Look at these people. This is gonna be awesome. This might be called the coolest vlog, except for, you know, what I just filmed, didn't post this the other day. That they, you know, wrote the weird,
Now very, very famous just because of that.
yeah, it has reviews on What? Oh my god. Alright guys, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to film, but, you know, they'll be right there. I'll try to film some clips here and there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to film too much. But I'll definitely be raving and going crazy afterwards. But, yeah. Woohoo, it's going to be fun. She keeps changing out her buttons over here. We got a few TBA. We got it, you know. Got to support the Green Bros. But wait, I may film a little bit here.
My name's John Green. This is my new book, Turtles All the Way Down.
Yeah!
A little bit of the story to you. This is from near the beginning. I think all you need to know is that the book is narrated by a 16-year-old girl named Asia who lives with these obsessive thought spirals and uses compulsive behaviors to help manage them or to... I got home. I watched TV with Mom, but I couldn't stop thinking about Davis looking down at my finger, holding my hand in his. I have these thoughts that Dr. Karen Singh calls intrusives, but the first time she said it, I heard invasives, which I like better because it's stabilizing to her sense of self. She has to navigate a constantly fracturing and collapsing understanding of what or who she is. But she doesn't only have to build a definition of self that is independent from her intrusive thoughts and the compulsive behaviors.
Hello, kids.
Hi!
My name is Dr. Larry Turtleman. I'm a professor of turtle studies at the University of Turtle. And today I want to talk to you about a very exciting topic, one of my areas of expertise, phylogeny and taxonomy. I know a lot of us lay awake at night thinking to ourselves, you know, I know that phylogeny and taxonomy are very similar things. They do have similar functions, but I know they're also different, but I'm not sure how. Right?
Right! Sure.
So I want to talk about that. Next slide, please. Phylogeny is also called phylogenetics, and we understand where that last part comes from, genetics.
Right.
But phylo is from the same root as the word file. So this is like genetic filing. It's categorization based on genetics, which is why I put a filing cabinet on the slide. Next slide, please. Taxonomy is very similar. It's also a system of categorization. But taxonomy was created, if you can believe this, before we even knew genetics existed. In fact, the father of taxonomy, Carl Linnaeus, was working 100 years before Charles Darwin was even born. Carl Linnaeus. Yeah. Look him up.
Okay.
He was really into naming stuff. He even named himself.
Oh.
It's true. He didn't have a last name because he was poor. So he gave himself a last name because of the linden trees that grew on his farm. Linnaeus. I know lots of Carl Linnaeus facts, but that's not why I'm here. Taxonomy is practically useful, but based upon body forms and similar connections between animals that we can sort of observe in them. And Carl Linnaeus was really good at this, better than a lot of his predecessors who would categorize things and say that, like, bees and birds were the same because they flew. He was better than that at stuff. And he created this system that we all learned in school and then forgot. They're called taxa. You have all these taxa here: domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. And I had to look at this slide because I forgot too. I study this stuff for a living. I'm a doctor of turtle stuff. So all of those are taxa. Next slide, please. What's a monotypic taxa, though? That's when you have a taxon. That's the singular for taxa. And in the taxon below that, there's only one. There's only one taxon. So these are categories that are broad, and then when you get more specific, you would think I have a broad one, and then more specific, you would have more than one. But in fact, sometimes you only get one. And the easiest way for this to happen is if you have a monotypic species, like the indigo macaque. There's no subspecies, so it's a monotypic species. You guys are also a monotypic species, Homo sapiens. I am too, Turtle Man. But could a genus also be monotypic? Next slide, please. Yes! This is the chocolate chip star, Nidorellia armata. It's a starfish. That's all I know about it. And also that it's cool looking.
Yeah.
And that it's monotypic in its genus. Next slide, please. But could you even get Sometimes I have a hard time seeing. But could you get even more rare than that? What about a family that only has one genus, that only has one species? Oh my gosh, there's a balcony. Hi, y'all. Next slide, please. You can. It's the bearded reedling, Panurus biarmatus. It's a bird. That's all I know about it. It's also cute. Next slide, please. But could you get even more rare? Could you have an order that only has one family, that only has one genus, that only has one species? Next slide, please. Yes! There are three terrestrial vertebrates that have monotypic orders. There's a problem. Hold on. Next slide, please. First, we have order Tumulidentata. The aardvark is the only species in that order. Now you might think to yourself, that can't be. I've seen lots of anteaters. Aardvarks are completely genetically distinct from South American anteaters. Aardvarks are from Africa, where they range widely and are extremely successful. Despite that, all of their ancestors are extinct. It's just a thing that happens. Someday they'll all be extinct. And us too.
Downer.
Time is very long. In fact, you might not even think, you might think to yourself, what is the most common, something. What is the nearest relative that is still living to the aardvark? There's a better way to say that. I can't remember what it is. Next slide, please.
Aww.
It's the elephant shrew, or very nearly the elephant shrew. I just wanted to include the elephant shrew because it's one of the closest and it's really cute. But also, there's this weird story about the elephant shrew that when Europeans first found it, they were like, "Oh my gosh, a shrew!" But it looks kind of like an elephant because it's got that nose thing, so we'll call it the elephant shrew. And it turns out that genetically, the elephant shrew is more closely related to the elephant than to the shrew.
Wow.
Yeah. Funny and interesting presentation that I'm giving. You are learning things. Next slide, please. Next we have order Piscicomiformes. I don't know how to pronounce that one. It's the hoatzin. The hoatzin is a South American bird. It's very, very weird. Look at it. That's really all you need to know. But it's even weirder than it looks because the hoatzin eats leaves. It's like a cow that flies. It's a ruminant. It has bacteria in its gut that turn cellulose into sugars, just like a cow. They diverged from other birds around 65 million years ago, around the time that the dinosaurs died. They haven't had a relationship with birds since then. That's nuts. They're basically as related to birds as dinosaurs are. That's so neat. Next slide, please. And finally, we have order Rhicocephalus. Tuatara look like lizards, but they're not. They share common ancestors with lizards, but they're about as closely related to a lizard as a bird is to a crocodile. And I didn't make that up. That's real and weird.
Yes.
Tuatara allow us a glimpse into the genetic history of reptiles and allow us to learn. I thought for a second I had forgotten to zip up, but I didn't. I felt like a freeze, and I was like, oh no!
Oh my God.
Tuatara have taught us a great deal about evolution, and it's really wonderful because we almost lost them. They're native to New Zealand, but on the mainland of New Zealand, Zealand, they went extinct because they weren't able to compete with exotic species and habitat infringement. But luckily, there are islands outside of the main island of New Zealand where they continue to persist and were able to be reintroduced to New Zealand. And so now we have them to study and learn from. Turns out, they're really fascinating and helping us learn a lot about evolutionary history and also about health. Next slide, please. When you think phylogenetically about things, you're thinking about relationships. Not just like these body forms are similar, but actual tied back into history, these things have common ancestors. And so when you think
I think for me, giving myself permission to suck and sitting down and trying to do the work, but not putting so much pressure on myself. When you can feel people kind of like reading over your shoulders or whatever, it can be very stressful to try to make stuff. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Two different Caitlins asked two different questions, both of which I want to answer. They spell their names differently. I wonder if you guys are tired of jokes about how many ways there are to spell Caitlin. Probably. Okay. How did you pick the quotes that are in Davis's blog? That's not a spoiler. By the way, there will be no spoilers because, most of you got the book 30 minutes ago. You can't expect you to have read it. But did you like it? So this kid Davis has a blog, and he uses quotes that are sort of the beginning of the little blog post, and he writes these sort of somewhat enigmatic little, notes.
Waiting for a thing to happen.
We're going to wait for a music cue. Elise?
We can see it. It's happening. Well, we can see it. This is a...
hello and welcome to Dear Hank and John!
Hank and John Green answer your questions, give you dubious advice, and bring you all the week's news from both Mars and AFC Wimbledon. John, how you doing?
I don't think she knows how to stop it, so we probably can do it.
Let it run.
Listen to it without the
This might be the rest.
To insert into a conversation, and at the end we're going to guess
What the other person's phrase of the week was. Hank is like 2 for 2, I'm 0 for 2. But to be fair, I don't listen when Hank is talking. So that's why. All right, this is our first question, Hank. It comes from a person who did not leave their name. And they write, Dear John and Hank, what are you planning on dressing up as for Halloween?
What matters most is what I'm going to dress my 1-year-old son up as for Halloween. I'm officially to the point where I have no interest in my costume because he could be a koala, he could be a peacock, he could be a lobster. There are so many baby outfits.
They're all
and we had
so
a friend
freaking cute.
come over who has. But I also very much like I like the behind the sides of everything. And you don't usually get to see the behind the sides of things. But the first time I saw a museum that was a working museum.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah,
what did you just say?
I think that maybe it didn't make any sense. I said the behind the sides, which is a really abstract concept. So you have the sides, which are here, and then if you go behind both of them at the same time, you know what I mean, behind the scenes. Behind, that one. Anyway, so there are different ways that museums can be. And the first time I went to a museum that wasn't meant to be public facing, which was the Naturalist Museum in Missoula at the university, I was
to class, and then we started dating 2 weeks later. Then she dumped me a month after that in Alaska. That's the end of the story.
I mean, there's a little more.
I'll tell the rest of the story.
Not what I was fishing.
So, not too long after we broke up, we had a previously scheduled trip to Denali National Park, and we decided to go. Terrible mistake, of course. Never do any of this, except for the Graceland bit, maybe. We go to Denali National Park. We're camping on the tundra above the clouds, looking down at clouds, gorgeous Denali, etc. And I say, why do you think we broke up? And then she says, have you ever fallen out of love with anyone? And I hadn't, but I said yes, because I didn't want to seem weird. So I was like, yeah, no, of course. And then she said, I think I just fell out of life with you.
Oh.
I deserved it. Oh man, all right, what's the next question?
Oh, God.
What question were we answering?
What's your favorite museum? What's your worst breakup story?
Yeah, that's not even my top 5 worst breakups. Hey, this question comes from Rex, or, I'm sorry if I misread your name, Rex, could be Rocks.
Rocks!
Well, like, it's short for Roxanne, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whatever, or maybe you're just named Rock.
Off kicker at all.
I don't know how you deal with this crisis, Hank. I wake up in the morning and it's one of the first thoughts that I have. I think, what can we do to get AFC Wimbledon some goals? Not even necessarily winning games, just the feeling of how good it might feel to score. I don't think they've scored in October, which isn't great. It is
still happening? Yeah, no, it's still happening.
Yeah. Do you never want to get to the end of the month and have your goal of the month vote be canceled due to the lack of a goal?
Goal of the month!
Our best goal of the month
The one that we had!
Yeah, all right. Hank?
It's bad news. I'm so sorry about this situation.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to guess your phrase of the week now.
Okay, do you remember what it was?
Yes. Was it behind the sides? Or did you legitimately mess that up?
That was just a... Wow! Just a mistake. I think it would have been, I think it would have been something that's actually a phrase.
What was it?
Nuclear power plant. Slipped in at the end there with Superman.
I was my second guess again, like last night.
Oh, man.
All right.
Was it snakeskin boots?
It was. All right, friends, thank you for listening, and as they say in our hometown, don't forget to be awesome.
I'm going to play some songs.
Thank you.
I know there's a book reading, and that you've already had a weird science lecture, and that's not usually what happens at a book release, or also just songs about science also don't happen. I feel like we should have advertised this differently. I apologize to people who are confused. But it can be a wonderful feeling. So I'm gonna sing a few songs now. It's not gonna be like I'm gonna sing like 1,000 songs. I'm gonna sing like 4 songs. Maybe some later on. We'll see what happens. And I'm gonna mix up my set list. So I'm staring at it, being like, how am I gonna change you? He's like, why do you want to change me all the time? Why can't I just be me? Why can't we just have a relationship where I'm me and you're you, and you love me for who I am? I'm a set list. All right. We were just talking about how weird the universe was, so let's talk about that some more. Wait a second. Yeah. Well, a quark never exists by itself in isolation. Something very odd happens when you try to separate them. The energy it takes to break up those two best friends is just enough to grieve you more to join back up with them. And a photon has no mass, and those are troubles that light speed, if you could imagine going that fast, that if you try, I think you'd be emitted and absorbed both in the exact same instant, even if you travel from a place there. Is the universe so weird? It's freaking me out. It's so weird. Oh, why is the universe? Oh, why is the universe? Is the universe so weird? So science song. I do that? I guess I did. Nobody else has an amplified guitar in the room. My fingernails are longer than I expected. Keeping the feedback going. Stop that. Yeah. So science songs, but also songs about the nature of life. What are things? How do we do it? And where are we going? You know where. Well, every living organism at one time was dust. An assemblage of atoms from our atmosphere and crust. These bits, they come together, but only for a time. From that very first self-replicator oozing from the slime, we exist and then we don't. That's just how we do. And everyone you know someday will also be dead too. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. It's a one-sure thing on which every living thing can rely. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Everyone so far has died too. There's not a thing that you can do, and you and me and us, we're all gonna die. Well, many folks will hope that there's a way out of this song, that if we think real hard and act, we'll just somehow we'll get along. We'll fix those telomeres, digitize our brains, freeze our dying bodies till the remedies attained. Well, I have some bad news for you. You can't outrun the hearse. The explosion of the sun or heat death of the universe. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. It's the one sure thing on which every living thing can rely. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. The singularity won't save you. There's not a thing that you can do. And you and me and us, we're all gonna die.
Oh.
Well, the
Good times never seem so good.
So, it feels like, I was watching very carefully just now, it seemed like everybody in the place just said those things. They said, bop, bop, and they said, so good. But I was watching, and it wasn't everybody. There were several people who were, one person I could see very clearly because they were tweeting or something. Their phone was reflecting on their face, and they were like, just like, oh, when is this going to end? We gave you the chance to leave.
It was pretty brief, to be fair.
Yeah, we didn't give you too much of a chance to leave because we didn't want you to. Touching hands.
We're gonna do this.
Reaching out.
Remember what we're doing.
Touching me. Touching you. Sweet Caroline. Never seemed so good. Yeah! It's like that's it! Oh my God! We got 2-3. That's the best it's been. Oh,
Yeah.
We can follow that feeling.
it gets me so hyped up.
So scared this before.
I get so scared.
You're just putting your whole life in the hands of the audience.
There's so many of you that all just be like, I'm not gonna say Gomez. I'm not gonna make it about me.
And we're not
It's
gonna
be about
the
everybody.
one person who clearly did it by
Oh
accident.
no, it's clearly accidental.
Clearly accidental. We've all been there. The first thing was you recovered, and we crushed on the last two.
Yeah.
God, I hate the red stuff. Okay. I make that joke the whole tour long.
Like last night I had a hard time sleeping.
I did too. I was hearing Go Red Sox.
I didn't want to talk about that until we got through it because I didn't want people to feel too bad if they messed up. But ooh, it feels so good to get it right.
Oh God, yeah. Because we committed to doing this bit at every event, and like it just failed.
It's the only data point that matters to me anymore. In terms
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yes. Yes. That's right. You heard that, Phil? Right. Phil's the king, man. See, we got a bunch of YouTubers. Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely worth it. And now, going home. Yay. Anyway, let's
Forget about that
go out
ramp,
into the
you know?
road and get run over. Yes.
No.
I mean, no, wait.
Let's not do that.
Reminisce this room, and then say goodbye to it. Goodbye, pretty teal room with the weird pink pillars. I will not miss you.
Purple.
Those are not purple. Yeah, okay, time for the eye doctor appointment. Here is the gathering of fans. As we all recover and just still inside are saying ba 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 just because it is urging you to get out.
We don't have to say ba 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 just because we didn't.
Ooh. Wow, I don't think I've ever looked at Charlotte at night.
Not this close up, anyway.
No. Usually it's on the news.
Nashville.
Yeah. Wow. Man, the things you don't notice. This is just fun to watch. I don't even need my own picture. It's just fun to watch everyone else.
This is the kind of mass shootings we need.
Yeah.
The camera and take pictures of each other.
Yeah.
We need more of this. That's the dream.
Yeah. Well. All right, guys. Oh, hey. Well, there's tortillas. Perfect. So you were doing some quick little Target shopping. Oh God. Well, she's reviewing the footage. Yeah.
This is
Oh,
weird.
I got some.
Cameras talking to each other.
Yeah. Vlogception almost. So we stopped here to get some supplies for tomorrow. So I have things to eat tomorrow. Yeah, so I think we were having fun recapping the night, and definitely can say that the Green Brothers are amazing. You guys will not be seeing this footage till after their tour is over, so just to respect the rest of the dates. But also, guys, it's really quiet in this store. We're making the most noise in this store. I've never heard my store this quiet. Wow. That is just orange splotches. It looks so festive. That is so cool. Just look, it's like